Welcome back. You're watching Newsline, and we were talking about the sad fact that the Shanakht Festival has had to be shut down or cancelled rather this year. And obviously the idea of Shanakht is identity, to bring people together. The organisers say they meant no harm, but nevertheless the festival was attacked last night. Amin Jay and Neela Farooq, thank you so much for coming in tonight. I mean, when you we were just before the break talking about an artist being sensitive to their environment. When you photograph something or create an installation, as you do you consider the environment in which you're working in, and do you hold back sometimes so as not to perhaps upset anyone? For sure. I mean, it's every artist's responsibility, and like Neela mentioned, we live in a very sensitive area, in a very sensitive country, and we respect everybody's response to whatever they see, and as an artist, I think it's kind of a responsibility. Like I mentioned earlier, we did not mean to harm anybody, we did not mean to upset anybody, for sure. I mean, it was not done deliberately. Some artists had contributed something from some part of the country and sent it to Shanakht to exhibit it. It was not assigned, it was not commissioned to do something like that, and like I mentioned earlier, it wasn't meant to be like that. Neela, amongst the many hats that you wear, you're also been a curator of art exhibitions. When you put together an art exhibition, are you really mindful of it? Because actually that shocks me, because like you say, art's meant to question boundaries, art's meant to provide different perspectives to people, so why be so considerate?
Actually, I'm presently curating a show that went to Khairpur and to Hyderabad at the Sindh University. And yes, we did care not to have any nudes in it, or things, because I felt the environment that we were exhibiting in, it's on women, it's on honor killing. Actually, the show is supposed to be very inclusive. We have local artists as well contributing to it, as well as a core exhibition. So we are sensitive, because who are the people, who's the audience? If the audience has a particular view, then I think while we can use other ways to sort of push our argument, or have different kinds of content, but we cannot sort of offend them, because otherwise whatever message we take across is lost.
And art being a very visual form in what we're talking about, whether it be painting or photography or installations, it is such an immediate visual symbol, isn't it, that perhaps creates quite a huge reaction. But isn't it sad that the festival had to close?
I think it's just terrible cost. To the people of Karachi, we don't have entertainment. This was one way of bringing people together, and Karachi has been a live and let live city for a very long time. I was born here, I grew up here, and it's very sad that I see it changing the way it has. That a few people take over and create a nuisance and everything shuts down. I don't know how we can react and sort of bring back the spirit of the city. I really don't know. I mean, I'm at loss now when you see something like this happening.
And I mean, we were talking about the government trying to get involved and trying to get the government support for this. Well, Sindh Information Minister Qazi Hussain spoke earlier about the festival. This is what she had to say.
Also trying to make people understand that there is a certain responsibility. If you have freedom, you've got to use it with more sensibility.
So Qazi Hussain is saying that if you have freedom, you have to show more sensibility. But surely, if you ask for support from the government, you'd hope to get that, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, ideally, of course, you have to keep in mind that the free festival for the people of the city, and the city is run by these politicians, and we have to go hand in hand. I mean, our artists on their own cannot provide security. We can bring in artists together to come and perform and have activities, but obviously we need the support from the city, for sure.
And I also feel that I think the organizers did behave responsibly. They sort of started negotiating. They told them, we'll take it off. But you see, now the government has to come forward and say, okay, you've taken it off, let's resolve this conflict and let's move on, and the people of Karachi have the festival, and the offending thing has been taken off. Because I think you should not, that's an extreme step to take, that you do not support a festival for which people have been working for months.
And really, it probably would have taken one statement from the PPP saying, we don't find this offensive, but we've asked them to remove it, or you know, if it was offensive, the piece has been removed, please still go and enjoy the festival.
It was as easy as that, to be very honest. I mean, like I mentioned, we did not mean any harm. So if somebody would have brought the issue to us, we would have very easily taken it off. It didn't have to go to this extreme where we had to cancel it.
Yeah. But I also want to say here, you know, during Benazir's time, Bashir Mirza had gone to Australia as our cultural attaché, and there, during that time, they had that big nuclear test, you know, in the Pacific, and he did a whole series, which are his nuke series, and you know, nobody was offended, and although he was a diplomat from the country, and I think even Benazir kind of looked, you know, I don't think took offense. You know, sort of, there has to be a tolerance. You know, there has to be the spirit that, you know, you should let the artists sort of protest or say what they want to say. Of course, it has to be done with responsibility, but you know, and you know, issues should be resolved rather than sort of taking such extreme.
We would hope for this point to end. Neelofer Farooq and Amin Jay, thank you so much for coming in to the studio tonight. Okay, that's where we have to leave you for Newsline for this evening. We'll be back live with you on Friday night at 9 with the news that matters from Pakistan and the rest of the world. In the meantime, send us your emails. You know the address. It's newseye@dawnnews.tv. Newseye@dawnnews.tv. Be interested to know what you think of this story, and if you were planning on going to the festival and are sorry to see it gone, or if you thought that photo montage shouldn't have gone up. In the meantime, from myself, Simon Mawson, and the rest of the Newseye team, bye-bye.